holes cause most parts to get lost. When you drop a little screw or a spring from a bridge, most likely they end up in a hole underneath the shed. So all these holes need to be plugged. All the holes are plugged with dowels right now, so hopefully if I ever drop a tiny screw or a spring, it won't disappear underneath the workshop. To cut the dowels flush with the floor, I found this miniature Japanese saw. It's a flush cut saw. It's just like a pocket knife, and I wanted to show it real quick. Very fine blade, very flexible, and I think besides cutting these dowels flush with the floor, this comes in real handy with guitar building as well. So all the floorboards are screwed down, so they should be nice and secure. I've plugged all the holes so I won't lose any small parts if I happen to drop a tiny screw or a little spring. And of course I've insulated the roof, so hopefully the echo will be a bit less, and of course we stay a bit warmer during winter. Now I want to determine where I want to put my equipment. So the next step is to bring in all the big equipment like my bandsaw, the dust extractor, router table and such, all the big machinery, so we can move them around and determine how I want to lay out my workshop. My previous workbench unfortunately didn't survive the move. Although it was covered in a tarp, it got exposed to rain and moisture, causing the top to warp a bit, separating the planks, so it became unusable as a guitar builder's bench. But luckily I may have found the perfect guitar builder's bench. And if you're interested in this bench, I intend to do a more detailed video on this bench, so the unboxing, assembly and of course all the details in a separate video, so keep an eye out for that one. Determining the layout of a workshop is quite a task. It's a lot of moving stuff around, moving the equipment around, the machines around, moving the bench around, just to get to a workable situation. And ideally I would like to set up my workshop that everything is accessible and ready to go without having to move it around, and that it makes it easier for me to do my YouTube video. So I'm going to shuffle some stuff around, and once I'm happy with the layout, I'll be right back. A perfect fit, and as you can see I decided to go with the similar setup that the old workshop also had, because it was to be frank, the most efficient setup I could think of, and yeah, let's go from here. And for this side of the shed, I'm also going to reuse some of the old racking that was already here or on the other side of the old workshop. First I'm going to assemble these racks, and then I think I'm going to add some drawers and some cabinet doors in front of them to keep out the dust as much as possible. In the previous workshop I had it happen many times, and I think you can all relate that when you drop a tiny little screw or a small part, it always rolls underneath your cabinet and you have to spend hours searching for the missing part. So to prevent that from happening, I'm going to install some baseboards or some plinths underneath these cabinets. So no more spending hours on my knees searching for that one missing part. As you can probably tell, I'm by no means a cabinet maker or furniture maker, but I think I still managed to make some nice looking scrapwood drawers. I've installed the drawer block right behind me underneath this work table. And for the front I'm going to again reuse some parts of the old shed. And in this case the planks the shed was made up of. I've resawed them on the bandsaw, put them to the drum center, and now it's time to turn them into some lovely faces for these drawers. cleaning all the old timber from the old workshop and making all these cabinet doors and drawers by hand from scratch is taking a bit longer than I expected. Especially not having all my tools at the ready and in this incomplete workshop is a bit challenging, so to say, but very fun to do. So I'm going to take my time and make this the best workshop I can for now. Yeah, the cabinets are almost finished and I'm pretty pleased with how these cabinets turned out. I have a lot of storage in these drawers, in these cabinets, both behind the workbench as well as behind the camera, and I can't wait to fill it up with stuff. But before filling up these cabinets and these drawers with tools, parts and all kinds of stuff, first let me put some Danish oil onto this countertop. And I can already hear the comments in the comment section asking why not use a poly finish or something else, and varnish based finish. And that's just because I just happen to have a can of Danish oil available and I really like the look and feel of an oil finish, and I think it suits my style and it suits the workshop with all the reclaimed wood much better than a smooth poly finish. Setting up and laying out the workshop proved to be much more challenging than I expected. Trying to figure out where everything has to go, not only to be as efficient as possible for guitar building, but in my case to shoot videos as well. I'm not only building a guitar making workshop, but I'm essentially fitting out a film studio at the same time. So it proved to be much more challenging than I expected, and I think it's easier when you just gradually build up your workspace, starting with just a single bench and some tools, and then keep adding equipment and place them as you go and hook them up as you go, instead of having all the equipment and tools available to you and trying to fit them as efficient as possible in a given space for both guitar making and shooting videos. After finishing all the cabinets and these countertops, the next step is to install all the lighting, both the working lights as lighting for shooting videos, making all the power hookups, dust extraction and all the technical stuff. And I'm also going to try to get all my tools back on the wall so I can show you a full functioning workshop in the next episode. The next video will, however, take a couple of weeks before it goes live on YouTube, because not only do I have to do all the work here in the workshop to get it finished, but I promised my wife to take her camping for a couple of weeks just to unwind and relax before we both go insane after this hectic period of setting up this workshop. So if you don't want to miss that episode, make sure you are subscribed to my channel and you've turned your notifications on by hitting the little bell icon underneath this video. So that's it for this update video coming from the new Unquendor Guitars workshop, and I hope you liked it, and if you did, let me know by leaving a like or a comment in the comment section down below, and of course I hope to see you all in the next video, but until then, have a nice week.